So, how do you follow that? So, as the Mog, mother of the groom, I have to say that in the last few years, I've gotten to know Colleen and her family. And I can only tell you all that it's been the greatest joy because, as Mike said, Chris has never been happier. In the last few years, we have seen someone grow in not only himself as a person, but the happiness that he brings to everybody else. And that's what you want. So it is with such joy that we welcome Colleen into our family. And yes, she is an honorary Texan. Hook 'em horns. Hook 'em horns. Chris is a Longhorn, and I know he's not in Longhorn country, but I know that y'all have accepted him there. I opened that door. But on a serious note, I can tell you that these two have taught me so much about what it means to really respect each other and love each other and teach each other. And I'm an educator. And so I look and I say, how can I bring some of the teachings that they have shared with me into my school and show other people how happy people can be and what happiness does for others? So with that, Colleen, we love you dearly. Christopher, you know we love you as well. And okay, Chris, we love you too. Colleen is the daughter I never had. I thank you and I love you both. And a toast to them both.
As Mrs. Grant mentioned, I'm Megan. I'm an old friend of Christopher's. We've been buddies since we were about 11 years old, as I was reminded pretty recently. And there were, since that's a really amazing age and people are generally at their least awkward, I'll go into a few factors as to how I ended up wanting to be a very good friend to Christopher. He had some pretty incredible talents back then, and some of those included things like he was a decent soccer player. He was on the Hammers, which was the team in San Antonio. I don't know if you guys know back there. The team, and so I would brag on him on that front. He's on the Hammers. He's really good at soccer. I was not really good at soccer. I did play, not awesome. But I sort of vicariously got that talent through him. He also played the drums, as was mentioned, and I used to sit on his floor and just listen to him brutalize my ears for hours on end. He also had very excellent taste in music, or at least I thought so. I mean, I came in with my sort of Beatles guns blazing. I grew up on the vinyl White Album, and he was like, "But have you heard of The Who?" And I had not. So instant cred there. Also, the one time in my life I ever hit on a boy in middle school, he was wearing a Zildjian t-shirt, which is a well-known drumming brand. And so if, my sort of Spidey can visualize maybe some brand names things, came out in the best moment, and I went, "You a drummer?" And he's like, "What gave it away?" And then I was no longer interested because he didn't even remember he had that on his shirt. But all of this to say that Christopher was a pretty interesting guy then. And what's been really incredible in watching your romance bloom from afar is kind of, akin to what Mr. Grant was saying to us earlier, and that's I've never seen Christopher blossom into what I truly believe is his purest self. with anyone or in any context like he is with you. And, buying him the drum set and knowing that that's something that he probably talked about and said that was a happy time. I really enjoyed that in my life, and the fact that you always want to bring forward those things that will make him happiest and will continue to have him be an independent person, but that the two of you can share together. I don't know how much more of this I can do without becoming a total blubbering mess. So I will leave it with saying that the moment that I met you in New York when you came to visit me, thank you for doing that. You had me at hello. And I'm so delighted for you both. I love you very much, and I can't wait to see just all of the things that you guys do together. So, but don't get too excited, because now I would like to take off my Megan hat, and I have a very special message that I'd also like to share. Gotta find my screenshot, give me a sec. This is a message from one of Colleen's very best friends in London who couldn't be with us tonight. Sarah has sent you a message, and this is a quote. It starts out, "I told you so." I told you Chris was the one, Call. I said it from the first time you told me about him, when you told me he made you those t-shirts with your prom picture on them and gave them to everyone at Facebook. I said, that's your guy, that's the one for you, and look what we have here. The only thing that makes me happier than the fact that you guys got together and had a gorgeous little boy is thinking about how right I was. I'm so happy for you both. Love you both so much. I knew it then and know it even better now. He is your soulmate, Call. Sending love from London.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lori, and I'm one of Colleen's older sisters. When they asked me to say something, it's been a few months now, I was really, really honored, and never would take the chance of not saying something about both of you. Colleen and I are just a few years apart, so we really didn't grow up together. By the time that Colleen got in junior high and high school, I was already gone, and by the time I came back to the Valley and started raising my kids, she was off, Seattle, San Francisco, then London. So now that they're both back living in the Valley, it's just so special that now we get to finally be together and live together, and it's been really fun. But one of the memories that I have, though, while she was living far away, was she would come home on the holidays, and the whole family, you really had to ramp up and you had to be ready for when Colleen came home, because, we had I'm sure all you guys will know, we had an itinerary. So we had a schedule of the holiday events, and everybody needed to be ready, and there was no not participating, and we would build gingerbread houses, and then we'd go to Fazari's, and then we would make houses, and then we go to Fazari's, and then we go sledding, and then we go to Fazari's, and it was a lot of fun. And even though we all needed a break from the vacation of having Colleen home, honestly, I felt empty. There was just an emptiness whenever she would leave and go back to London, because it was just really sad. But I remember the time that we were on vacation, and she mentioned to us that she was going to meet Chris in California, and she was letting us know who he was, that he was somebody that she worked with at Facebook, that they'd been friends for a really long time, and that she really wanted to just see if there was something there that she could build on. And so that was the first time that she told us. And then before we knew it, she was bringing him home. And the day that we met Chris was the day that our family had this ginormous yard sale. And now, and if you know my family, that'd be enough to scare anybody off. It was wild. And here comes Chris, and he had this blacksmith apron on, and he was all over the place, and all of us knew from that moment on that he was a keeper. We loved him, and he was a part of the family, without a doubt. I just want to let you both know how special you are and how deserving you are of each other's love. My heart is so happy when I'm around you because I can tell how much fun you have, how much you laugh, and everybody around you laughs when you're together. So it's really, really fun. And I already know I have a sister that I just truly adore, but now this evening I'm gaining another brother too. That makes me really happy. So on behalf of the whole Sullivan family, I'd like everyone to just raise their glasses to the bride and groom. I wish you both a lifetime of love and happiness. May the road be long, and may the party train never end.